Former President Trump is on the attack with the first presidential debate just 2 days away. While the Biden campaign is focused on the issue of abortion access, Trump is calling for the president to be drug tested. ABC News senior congressional correspondent Rachel Scott joins me now for more. Rachel, what's behind this new move from Trump now calling for a drug test ahead of the debate?
Yeah, you know, we have really heard the former president dig into his attacks. And listen, he's been everywhere sort of on this scale. He has questioned President Biden's mental fitness, and then he went on to also call him a worthy debater. He has attacked the fact that the president is spending time in Camp David, huddled with his senior advisors, preparing for that debate. And now we are hearing this latest claim from the former president, insisting that President Biden should take a drug test before he even gets on the stage. And of course, just over the weekend, we heard the former president suggest that President Biden is taking supplements to somehow get jacked up, in his words, ahead of public appearances. To be clear here, there's no evidence of that. These are baseless and unfounded claims, and that is how the Biden campaign is responding, saying that the former president is resorting to these unfounded claims that are purely lies. But this is a page out of Donald Trump's playbook. We saw him do this last time around back in 2020, and he even did it in 2016 with Hillary Clinton. Diane.
So, Rachel, what can we expect when these two candidates take the stage?
Yeah, well, if this is a sign of how things are going to be, then you can expect that the attacks just might turn nasty. And look, we all remember that debate between President Biden and former President Donald Trump, the one that turned into a shouting match. Obviously, this time around, there are things that are in place that could prevent that. For example, the mics are only going to be turned on when it's the candidate's turn to speak, but that's not going to stop them from going at each other. And so you have the former president already sort of ramping up his attacks on President Biden, but then also trying to downplay some of the expectations here by calling him a worthy debater. But so much has changed, Diane, since these last two saw each other face to face. Namely, you had January 6th that happened, and you've also had the former president convicted on those 34 counts of falsifying business records. And of course, that's one of many investigations into him.
And Rachel, in two court rulings last night, federal judges in Kansas and Missouri blocked aspects of President Biden's student loan repayment program. 8 million Americans are enrolled in that program, and this has long been one of Biden's campaign promises. So how significant could these rulings be to his campaign?
Yeah, you know, I remember when the president was making this promise to really forgive a lot of student loan debt for so many Americans out there. And the Biden administration seemed very clear and confident that this was going to stand up in court. And what we have seen over the past year are challenge after challenge on President Biden's student loan forgiveness program. We've seen the Biden administration try to pursue other legal avenues to try to make sure that this relief gets to people out in the country. But this is going to frustrate part of their base that they're really looking to energize in November, and that is young voters and people who really saw this as a campaign promise from President Biden. So there is no doubting this is definitely a blow, not only in the courts, but also politically for the president heading into November.
All right, Rachel Scott, a lot to keep an eye on. Thank you, Rachel.
Got it.
And this Thursday night on ABC, be sure to watch the CNN presidential debate simulcast. It all starts at 7 p.m. Eastern with the ABC News special, Race for the White House.